One last thing I want to talk about is I went to a Revelation seminar in Dexter, Maine, that talks about Revelation. John, when he was hallucinating on the island and he wrote Revelations. The seminar was weeks long, and I videotaped quite a bit of it for notes on a Sony video camera that I have. And I may break that out later. I probably have shown it on a few vlogs. And I'm going to check tonight or today, this morning, to see if it's working. I cannot take the software that came with that Sony video camera and make it compatible with my that 2017 Dell PC. Now, my old laptop from 2012, I think it is compatible. It is compatible with that one. But I don't know if it'll still upload onto YouTube from that old laptop from 2012. But I can record off this device right here. I can record off this device. And I call it a rendering, or when you videotape it and then just send it up, you can videotape a movie or a video off your, TV. So it probably will hook up to my television. I can plug it into my TV, and then I can videotape some of my main footage and show you guys some of that stuff. It'll show Dexter. It shows all parts of Maine. It's a lot of footage, and I have it in a lockbox. We might do that. I'm going to go check on the camera and see if the camera still works. And I may just do a little bit, since we're including Escape from Maine, the screenplay. And then I'll shoot some of this footage. I'll film some of this footage, and then I'll show you what it looks like from using the television right here, that television right there. And we'll see later on. Let me go check on that, and then I'll upload the screenplay. All right, everybody, it's Sunday, April 23rd, and I'm working on a new scene. This is a new note card for Escape from Maine. And basically what happens in it is, in this scene, I move into Dover Foxcroft. It's a place, a little apartment, kind of like an attic, but it's on a second floor. It overlooks basically the whole town and the Center Theater and the Masonic Lodge. And it's on High Street. If you ever go there, it's beautiful. It also overlooks the Piscataquis River, where it turns and it bends right by an old factory. I will get on the PC and POF, where later I'll go to Waterville. So this will be cool, establishing some aspects of Jonah, starting in Dover Foxcroft. All right, Kitty, come on. All right, I don't really have any time to do this, but I figured to keep the song alive, I'll go ahead and run through it at least once, the best that I can. And I'll be able to look it over and listen to it later. So I haven't touched the song in quite a bit of time. All right. These better. I'm gonna take a Greyhound West. Find out what Jim said about California and the best. I'll take the test. It's gonna take some time.
I'll find a rhyme, get my hands right, so I'll finally a city of worth. And sign my life away, sign my life away, sign my life away, sign my life away. I'm gonna take an airplane, fly east, find out what Tom said about the Carolina feast. And I'm gonna take a rest, it's gonna take some time. Then I'll head south, I'll find mine, get my head right just in time, and finally find a city of worth. And I'll sign my life away, sign my life away, sign my life away, sign my life away. I'm gonna take a sailboat to Ireland, sing a life away, sing a life away, sing a life away, because someday someday we'll sing our life away. About 5 minutes and 24 seconds. I think I got through it. We'll do that daily. All right, kitty. Don't just lay on the couch, watch TV, eat chips, and be lazy. You better get up and do some cleaning, some exercises, get in the whale shark tunnel, run around, do what you do. Okay? Don't be afraid. I'll be back to love on you. I promise. Okay, kitty? All right? Here, come here. Yes, you are. Yes, you bird. Look at that kitty. Yes, you bird. Yes, you are. Yeah. Oh, getting kind of frisky. Yes, you bird. Yes, you bird. All right. All right, we're at 175,240 miles on the speedometer. It is 55 degrees. It went down quite a bit, about 30-degree drop. I don't know. Got to turn on the air conditioner. Now we are rolling on April 23, 2023. Yes, I am Cole Spivey, the host of the Please Subscribe show. And I'll be talking about specific details of Escape from Maine. just a minute, I'm going to show traffic. I'm going to try not to do as much. So everyone's saying, hey, Cole, limit your videos. You're doing like 9 videos a day. Don't know how. I don't know how I'm doing it. What I do is I go home and I just edit until I fall asleep, like morning time. And I get a little bit of sleep. And then I hit the road on the dinner time. I'm kind of a night owl. Sometimes I like it. And then sometimes I'm like, this is too much. I need to do like only a 30-minute vlog per day. Help me and pray for me. This is actually the Sunday traffic. Really none at all. So when I lived in Dover Foxcroft Place in Maine, in the state of Maine, way up north, not too far from Canada, I lived there and I moved in there right after I left the Guilford place. I write about it in the screenplay. And I left the Guilford place because, well, Aunt Dee Dee's at the time moved out. In the story, it's Aunt Cece's. So I go to, Dover Foxcroft, and this lady named Rita. I mean, keep her name the same. She was basically my landlord. She let me in there. She's a Christian lady. She had kind of a big nose, and she was kind of cool. And so she let me in there, and it had a washing machine but no dryer. And it was a nice place. I have footage of it. And it had these nice little windows, and you could look out the window by the kitchen. Not by the kitchen, yeah, by the kitchen sink. And you look over, and you know, it overlooked the town. And you could see the Masonic Lodge, you could see the Center Theater, you could see the river, and just the cars going by. You know, there wasn't a whole lot of people in Dover Foxcroft. It's one of the oldest towns in Maine. It's a part of the Piscataquis County seat. The Piscataquis is a river. There's also the Penobscot, but that's more Bangor. Piscataquis is different. And they have whoopie pie festivals and all this fun stuff. People go ice fishing, and it's a pretty cool place to live. I was really lucky, fortunate to be able to live there for at least one winter. I lived in Parkman in Guilford for the other winter, and that was rougher. It was harder to live in Parkman. It was a little small cabin, and then Guilford, it was like it looked kind of like a restaurant that I was living in. It was real weird. It overlooked the Piscataquis. This one was more kind of like an apartment. The neighbors were pretty quiet, and there weren't really one around. One of the neighbors had a motorcycle. They would never ride it, and it would amount with snow, because we get so much snow that the motorcycle, you couldn't even see the motorcycle. Then we'd snow shovel ourselves out every day. We did have a snow shovel service, but I wrote, and that's mostly where I wrote Escape from Maine, and I did write Mulholland Flower. I really like that story too, about Paul Woodson and his dog Clover. That was a little short story, kind of novella that I wrote alongside of the main novel. And I'm glad I wrote the novel. I was reading it last night, man, it's great. Okay, so I didn't think about writing the screenplay until way later, 10 years later. It's been 10 years. I'll never go back and live on Maine on my own. At least I'm a millionaire and I have an astronaut suit. Because I'm afraid of cold weather. Like that, like -20 and stuff. Because it can kill you. Very dangerous in Maine. There's moose and all kinds of stuff. I lived along the Moosehead Trail, right off 7. Okay, now he gets into Dover Foxcroft. His cats get moved in, so we can see the cats again. But he uses like this rubber band about this size to tie around the door and on the knot. I guess because it only had like one lock. And I don't know, he just felt like my mom had a key. My stepdad was kind of weird, and he would go jogging he would go walking 6 miles a day. He was a PE coach most of his life. So I put the rubber band to make sure if I left and anyone came in, that rubber band would go flying off. The cats would go over there and they'd smell everything, and they'd come up to me and start purring on me. And that was basically what I was living for, making sure those cats were okay. And I write music, just to keep me company. And then I would write the novel, I guess I wanted to write a story about our generation, about Generation X, and about people growing up and trying to find themselves in adulthood and still being kind of lost. And so I kept writing and writing, sometimes 2 or 3 pages a day, and then sometimes longer, and it was like a 1,000-page book. I did audition for a movie called Beauty Inside. It's a Drake Dormus picture that he had on Facebook. It's gonna be a little Dutch angle right here. Very little. You see it? Like that? Okay. Now, I did not a whole lot. I got involved in the dating scene when I was in Dover Foxcroft on Plenty of Fish, and I went on like 10 dates. All the women were like farmer women. Some of them were sophisticated. One was like a biologist. And the one that I really liked I met her out in Waterville. She lived not too far from Waterville. I'd have to remember where. Pepe Le Pew is kind of what she called herself a little bit, because, you know, we had like usernames and stuff. Or she would mention Pepe Le Pew, but she would write these specific little dialogue things that sounded like a book, because I was writing a book. And she was getting ready for her friend's wedding, and she was making deviled eggs. She was Presbyterian. And I met her out in Waterville, and we decided to go see Silver Linings Playbook, which is going to be the next note card. That scene's going to be great. And we decided to meet at a Mexican restaurant in Waterville, and we talked. I told her about the actor studio and the New School University and like what I was doing up there, Kurt Vonnegut and, you know, Jack Kerouac or whatever. And, you know, I'm writing a story about what I'm doing. I'm writing a novel about being here, and it's a character named Jonah or something. I was trying to explain her a piece of me. She was really quiet, very Presbyterian, and just really kind of, you know, pretty. One character I think that would be cool, or an actress that I think could play her, is Zoe Kazan, the granddaughter of Elia Kazan, because, you know, I'm obsessed with the Marlon Brando age, and Elia Kazan was cool, even though he got persecuted. I gotta go here in a minute, and then Zoe Kazan would be great, because Zoe has a, you know, she's kind of cute and everything. But it'd be darker hair. I've considered playing Jonah, but I have to lose weight. I have to get down to like 157, so it would take some time. If not, then Johnny Whitworth can have it. But I'll see what I can do. I'm eating salads. If Johnny wants it, you know, I'm sure he's getting other offers. Johnny Whitworth is an actor from Empire Records. I know his brother. His brother's one of my best friends, Danny. Anyway, let me get to the point. I wanted to get to the details. So I wanted to put that rubber band in there. It represented something. It was like a blue rubber band. It goes around the door and the knot. Kind of around the door and around the lock. So if you open it, it would just shoot off or whatever. I thought it was funny. It was like my alarm system in Maine, because nobody locks their door in Canada. But I was in Maine, and they don't always do that, because rarely there's crime. Now, there was a guy with a hunting knife that tried to rob one of the pharmaceutical places and get some like Oxycodone or whatever. He tried to get some of that, and then the whole town got paranoid. And that was about it. There was a triple homicide somewhere far out in the country, but they said it was related with drugs. Other than that, everything was fine. Anyway, you'll find out about it. I'll write about it. I have to talk a lot because I got to get a lot of words in really quick. I get some food in you, and then go out and drop the drop the food at the doorstep, because I'd eat anything. Another aspect about Escape from Maine, and is I have to scroll through it, because it's on Fiction Press or Fan Fiction. No, it's Fiction Press. It's fictionpress.com. So I have to sit there and scroll through it. I'd have to go and open my old computers and stuff to look at page numbering and all that stuff, and I don't have a printout copy of it, because it'd just be sitting there gaining dust. But I remember it. And I can scroll through and see, where's the Waterville sequence? Where's the Waterville sequence? You know, where's the Pepe Le Pew? I don't even know if I mentioned that, you know? Where's this dialogue here? I just be scrolling through and relying on luck to find it. I have to read like 1,000 pages and go through it. So I got to do it from memory, pretty much. I can find some things. I found some things last night. Found a few cool one-liners and some moments in it. It's sad. It's like if you wrote a really good song and nobody cared. Like a Twilight Zone episode, you know? If you're Rick Springfield and you wrote Jesse's Girl and nobody cared, you know? That's what it feels like. You know, and Rick Springfield's going around, I got this song. And they're like, yeah, we've heard it before. Yeah. What's wrong with this world? You know, what's wrong with you? Care. She doesn't really look that old. Yeah, that's Silver Alert. She looked like she was in her mid-50s. And it was coming out of Grand Prairie. I told that lady in there about the different alerts. Like there's clear, that means stay away. There's also CAMEO. Not CAMEO. Camo. Camo's military. Blue means something. Oh, wow, there's a raccoon. It's kind of Red Hot Chili Peppers. Check this out. See the raccoon? See him right there by the tree? That's a raccoon. That's Country Day, where the yard is. It's outside of Country Day. He's just running wild right there in the middle of the city. And he's going by that chair right there, or that bench. It's still a chair, but it's more like a bench. Let me see where he goes now. He's gonna come out. I thought it was a cat, but it's a raccoon. They'll kill a cat. I think the raccoon killed Mojo in the story, Escape from Maine, when he was up there in Abbott. He's going down in a gutter. They said a raccoon got him or a squirrel. Finally, it brings it down. The dullness right here. Rice, water, vine leaves, sunflower, black pepper, the salt. Goddess. It's a chicken salad right here. Sometimes they change up the hot bar. So we got copyright music, so I'm gonna move this way over here so you can't hear it as well. Where that speaker is anyway. That's probably a little bit better. It's just, you know, whew. you get that blunt song going in. And boy, everything, block content, we own that song. Cares happened to be playing at a place where I was, you know, videotaping my vlog. Anyway, but they own it, so we gotta watch out. Gotta watch out where you vlog, because we own this little section, and we're gonna control it. Make sure you pay for our music. My song's better than that blunt song anyway. Anyway, this is, well, not to all the money-nizers. It used to be umfug, you know. People were like, they liked music, you know, and now it's like they like money. It doesn't make any money, they don't even care. This is the Whole Foods right here. I'm gonna open it up in a minute. Whole Foods. You'll see the fork in there. Making money, doing the vlog. Whole Foods. Eat it. Yum, yum. Here, we'll open it up. Make it even better. That way you can see some of it. And this right here. I'm losing weight. No more hot dogs. See, Mom? Well, I'll eat a hot dog every once in a while. Maybe like later. All right, so we know what's inside of it. This is a grape. And I'll show you. All right, got some broccoli. I put a little feta cheese on it. This right here is some chicken. Got some ham over here. It's a raspberry. It's purple onion. There's a tomato. There's the purple onion there. I got this thing. It's like an orange chicken. Probably a little more than what I need. And then this egg, this little boiled egg, and some olives, some raspberry. Not a whole lot. And then, of course, this thing right here. So I was reading about the dolmas. Right here, the dolmas. It's actually from the Ottoman Empire. And it's got rice inside of it. And sometimes they put like meat, minced meat, things like that. And it's Ottoman, it's Greek, it's Egyptian too. It's pretty good. It's got like a cool taste. This is just basic straight up orange chicken. This is a piece of broccoli, vitamin C. I have mentioned the ghostly father figure, which I want Alec Baldwin to play. It's also some voiceover stuff. There will be a great scene in Haltom, Texas, where the father will talk to Jonah, the son, about the older brother killing himself because he didn't want to go to Vietnam, and he was an ROTC, kind of a guy that they called Stinky because he smelled. He had some kind of disorder. Kills himself. His older brother, he talks about how the depression got him, not the actual, he didn't actually do it. It was a sickness that killed him. So there's like a theological point about suicide in it, which I think is good. And that'll be in there. That's the Haltom scene, which will be a flashback sequence of him remembering his father. They're gardening in the side yard of one of their great aunt's house. Then he'll talk about how he'll say one day everyone will want what you have. And I think he's eating like a salad at like a salad place. And they'll irrigate the ground and dig for the great foods. And there'll be a dust bowl in 2030. And everyone will starve like they did in the Great Depression. But you won't. He'll make sure you're always fed. He's talking about Jesus.